Who's going fishing Sunday?
I am. Let's go.
Let's go.
I am.
I'm in.
What? Wait. Can you put that cat down?
Yeah.
The cat's in.
I was trying to be a Bond villain. I apologize.
Yeah.
It's warm by this fire, Buck.
We're not even in the fire. We need to jump in the current.
We got to cool off in the current.
I just want everyone to know, I mean, we say it all the time. You have 7 best friends when you tune into us every week.
And it's wild because we used to say that, but now it's so real.
And it was just a real existential morning, guys.
Got all existential.
Did you short drift them?
Well,
That's a yes.
That's what the Canadians say, no bueno.
No bueno.
If there is a traditional Canadian saying, no bueno.
welcome back, everyone, to a very special episode of the Rutten River Pursuits podcast. You're in the current. I'm Steve.
I'm Dave.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
In less than a week, we've got Christmas, right?
We do, bud.
And every year since the start of the podcast, we've been doing a special Christmas episode.
Yeah, we had Christmas for Hunters.
Yeah.
I think was the title.
Yeah,
of one
Christmas
of
for
those.
Hunters. So we got to do it again this year.
Right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So before we kick off that part of the episode, what have you guys been up to this week?
Well, it's been just crappy weather, and
To say the least.
like deer hunting's over. There's a break in deer hunting.
Yeah.
For me, I haven't been able to get out for any waterfowl other than that epic sea duck hunt.
Yeah, other than the best waterfowl hunt of my life.
I'm kind of worried to go now, just because nothing's going to be as great. But like the sun sets so early right now.
I hate that.
You can't do anything after work. It feels like.
What do they call that? Sundowners syndrome or something like that?
Yeah.
I got that.
I know it's dark when I pull out of the driveway in the morning, and it's dark when I pull back in after work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to use up my time in the evening, I've been going through some fishing gear because I don't want to get to when the bite happens in the spring.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Oh, I got to get my tackle bag together. I can't go tonight." I don't want to be saying that.
You
I
wanna
want
be
to
that guy?
I want to be the guy on the water showing everybody else the pictures of the fish.
Hey, the bite's on.
So I'm trying to go through, and then I'm taking inventory of what I need, what I don't need, maybe selling some stuff, maybe giving some stuff away.
Yeah, I
You know?
like the sound of that.
Yeah, you know.
What's on your giveaway list?
Beat me
Anything?
to
There's actually, I was going to give them to you. There's a pack of Senkos.
Shut your mouth.
That color was not working for the lakes I fish
Really?
at. So, yeah, so there's a half a pack. You guys are up for, maybe I'll just like put them in the middle and we'll have Fight Club go after it.
It'd be worth it.
Yeah, definitely. But then there's
For
other
half a $6
there's
pack
other
of
there's other
Senkos,
repairs. I mean, I found 2 reels that haven't been working since last spring. Like I went out to use them and they weren't working. I never repaired them because I'm like, I'll grab another one.
Yeah.
And then I looked at them and I understand why I didn't repair them because it's above my ability to repair. So
Really?
I need to take them to the local tackle shop who does an excellent job and have them repair them.
Now that, since you mentioned that, we are recording this particular episode at my house again.
Right.
On your way out, I'm going to have you grab a couple reels
Okay.
that you can take with you when you go to
Yeah.
the tackle shop, work on it. Actually, just one in particular that I've got is a surf fishing combo that I bought.
Yeah.
And the reel is pretty well seized up.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know that it's salvageable.
Oh,
Here's a
man.
tip. Anytime you fish salt water, rinse your rod and reel with just a garden hose, just fresh water. You don't even have to lube them up after you're out. Just when you get back to the house, rinse them off, and those unsealed reels, you'll be able to flush the salt water out of them.
And I try to keep after it. I know the only time that we really use these is when we're staying at one of these beach houses, and like the last 2 years in a row we're at the same house in Virginia, and it's great because it's got that spigot right at the back of the house where you come in off the beach. So everything gets rinsed really well. It just, for whatever reason over time, it's This is the third season I think it was used, and I think the combo was maybe $40.
Really?
So
Yeah.
I'm not talking about top of the line equipment. I'm really just kidding when I say take it with you. But I should probably spend some time going over some of my fishing tackle. You hooked me up, I think, in some of those things that you were working on.
Yeah.
You took care of a.
I replaced if you break the tip on a rod, that rod's never going to be the same. As a disclaimer. But you spend some good money on a rod, or you have a rod that you really like. Is it worth the couple bucks for a new tip to put it on? I'd say yeah. Why not? Do it. Just the time. For me, it doesn't take long, and I'm willing to do it for the guys around the table because it's practice for me. I enjoy it, and every time I do something like that, I get a little bit better.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, it's not going to be the same because you lost about 3 inches on the end of your fishing rod.
Right.
So where it broke, and you can't I don't know if that's graphite, fiberglass rod. It's fiberglass.
I think that's fiberglass.
Those fibers, it's not. If you try to repair that and kind of put a splint
it, yeah.
It's not going to be the same either. So you might as well take it off that 3 inches and put a different tip on it.
It won't flex the same. Even if there's epoxy that you could use, to reinforce the fibers, it wouldn't flex like it was supposed to.
Yeah. So I replaced your tip on that rod. I have 2 other rods where I broke the eyes off. Halfway down the rod, just the eyes, just the metal eyes snapped.
Yeah.
So I have those to replace. I put those. Luckily, I have the eyes in my box of parts.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll just have to retie those on and epoxy that. And
you replaced the last guide on Ryan's rod?
Yeah, the tip.
The tip. Is that any different? So I had one break off this year, and I did the same thing, and I just bought that do-it-yourselfer kit from whatever store, and you heat up a stick of something with the match and smear it on there.
Looks like a hot glue gun.
Yeah. It didn't work for me.
So I do that.
Yeah.
But I go a step farther. Well, and I'll step it up. I have multiple sizes of tips. So, there's a taper to every fishing rod. So that same tip that was on his rod does not fit where I cut it off.
Okay.
So those kits then are probably like size fits most. And sort of.
And I think that was my problem.
Right.
Yeah. So I was able to sleeve it, and I was able to check the diameter and match that up to an eye that fits with very little wiggle around it.
Yeah.
So I take that pretty much hot glue stick, heat it up, put it on, and then I also put a little bit of epoxy on the outside where you can see like the metal part of the tip and the rod. Right at that seam, I filled that with a little bit of epoxy.
Okay.
You could probably take what's the super glue? You could take a little dab of super glue around there. It'd probably work the same. Or even like that quick little Loctite makes a little epoxy gun.
Yeah. Or Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, Gorilla Glue type thing. Just a little bit around that will seal that up and will help you. Because that hot glue type stick, it'll work, but you could probably pull it off easily, especially middle of the summer.
Oh yeah.
You're sitting in a car. It's sitting in a car. You're not allowed to leave pets in a car. Yeah. So your fishing rod's...
Why would you leave your rod in
your fishing rod's going to heat up where it's detrimental to a living being.
Yeah.
Well, that glue inside that tip's going to melt.
I think one of you may have been fishing with that rod this year, and you happened to notice that the last guide would spin 90 degrees after the cast, and then spin another 180 degrees the other way when you were reeling it in. But
that happens.
I got to do that.
But so lately I've just been taking some inventory on fishing.
Yeah.
Looking towards ice fishing.
Yeah.
Getting some of that stuff together.
Last year I was ice fishing on New Year's Eve. It doesn't look like we'll be able to do that quite that early this
Not
year.
without a kayak,
Not without a kayak.
which is probably not considered ice fishing. Then.
Yeah, the drilling the hole would be very easily on the surface of the water.
Yeah.
But don't drill a hole in your kayak.
Yeah,
No.
Well, I know similar to what DK's doing, although I should put a little effort forward into my fishing stuff. I spent some time this past week actually cleaning up and putting away a lot of my hunting stuff.
Did you? Is that hard for you? Like, does that make you sad?
It makes me sad, but at the same time, it does a couple of things.
Yeah.
It helps me focus a potential Christmas list.
Ooh.
For things that I know either didn't work, I'm now finding are broken,
Yeah.
or
Just
things
plain
that just
worn
need,
out.
Upgraded or replaced.
Yeah.
It'll do that for me, but it's therapeutic, I think, in a weird way. I love, like, I'm a gearhead.
Yeah.
I love messing with my gear. So if I have to, and during fishing season, I found myself doing this all the time. If I got home from work and I wasn't going directly to a kid's practice or going out fishing, I found myself with the truck tailgate dropped in the driveway, all my gear laid out, and I'm using the excuse of, I have to make sure everything gets dried, or do this, do that, and I'm rearranging. I went through, no joke, this summer, I rearranged my bags so that at one point I had like a small stream wading bag.
Yeah.
I had the river wading bag. I had a bag that I took if I was meeting you at like on the way to Will's house at Foulmouth.
Yeah.
Because it's the river, but I'm not wading.
Right.
So it's a completely different set of tackle.
Sure.
Like I had all these bags and stuff. I just love messing with gear.
That's
so
cool.
anyway, I was doing that at the end of rifle season and cleaned all of my guns.
You did.
Every gun. I don't know if you guys smelled that.
It smells
Hops
good, yeah.
Number 9 smell when you walked into the office down here. But yeah, I cleaned every gun I own. Took a couple hours.
One thing you mentioned about bags, I've been doing this last summer. I started it, and I actually worked on it this week. I'm switching over to, not that I'm downsizing my Plano boxes, my trays, to that. I think it's a 36 size from the 3700 series.
Okay.
Because I have 2 bags that are for different setups, and I have a third one, and I want to be able to interchange those trays into each one of those bags.
Okay.
So just pop a tray out for
Right. So if I want to
fishing,
yep,
or
because
trout
my
fishing or whatever.
my wet wading bag's a 2 tray bag,
Right.
so I need to have just pretty much smallmouth bass stuff,
Yeah.
and I have that down to about 2 trays. If I'm going to go somewhere else, I'm on the boat, I can take a little bit bigger bag. Well, I want to be able to those trays need to go to different bags. So
Yeah.
You know what I would do?
yeah,
I'd buy more trays and more
gear,
and more stuff.
Yeah. Well, see,
why would you want to worry about swapping them?
because I don't want to go through so many jigs. I don't want to buy 200 jigs to have that same quarter ounce 2/0 jig.
Sounds like you and I have 2 different kinds of problems.
Yeah, I mean, I was starting to see I was having a lot of overlap in tackle, and I didn't want multiples of that.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that. But my problem is then because I don't want to worry about making sure this box will go with me to all these different bags.
yeah,
Rather than that, what I'll do is I will split it up. I'll create the redundancies, and then I won't replenish the stock evenly.
Yeah.
yeah.
So then I'm out in the middle of the river, and I get hung up on a Ned rig. I'm glad Stevie was sitting down when I said that. I didn't want to fall over from shock. But if I get hung up and all of a sudden, boom, that breaks off, it's like, let me get another one. I know I've got 50 or 60. I just bought a bunch.
Right.
I reach in this particular bag.
Oh.
Whoops, I forgot to put them in here.
Yeah.
So
Ouch.
I guess I could see. It sounds to me, though, I need to.
Just
to
need
get
more
stuff.
tackle. Yeah.
More tackle.
I started using a kayak crate this year.
Oh, that thing's nice.
Yeah, and I can fit a ton of boxes, and there's a little section for
Like your plastic
50
bags.
bags of plastics, yeah, and plastics, and I put a 3-rod holder on the back of it, so I can carry all those trays, all those plastics, and 3 rods on one shoulder, and that has worked out really. And then when I'm going on my kayak, I just plop it on the back of the kayak.
I like that because when we were bank fishing, you were able to put your extra rods vertical.
Yeah.
Myself, my secondary rod was laying. So if one of us, myself included, would go over that way, not see it, I could very easily step on it.
Yeah.
Whereas your extra rod was vertical in that rod holder on that kayak basket. That was nice.
Yeah, that worked out pretty good this year. That was it was just a regular milk crate, and then Plano makes this. I can't remember what it was for or what it's called, but it's just a kayak crate converter, something like that. I don't remember, but
it's pretty nice.
It was nice. It worked out nice. But I don't do any of that organizing stuff that you guys do.
My favorite thing when Stevie shows up to go fishing is it's pretty much the bag that he bought new tackle on the way is coming.
Sometimes it's the day before.
Plus, I'll give you, or the week before, but it's still in that bag, like with the receipt. In the packaging, that grocery type bag. Plus his full to the gills original tackle bag
from last year. Yeah.
And I found a lot of good stuff in there because I said, hey, I ran out of something. And he's like, oh, just look in there. I'm like, what's not in that pouch? Check out other pouch.
Take whatever you need.
Yeah.
And I started last year was the most organized I've ever, and I've realized this for ice fishing. Like I can't tie knots on the ice. I just can't. So I have to have enough rods with stuff already tied up because my fingers just don't work when it's 20 degrees outside. So last year for ice fishing was the most prepared I've ever been for any fishing season in my life. I don't think I had a single plastic grocery bag with me. But the rest of the year, it was, that's like a separate tackle bag is the Walmart or the Dick's or the Field and Stream plastic bag. You can fit a lot in them too. So don't discount that.
I'm looking forward to developing a system with my fishing gear like I have with my hunting stuff.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to archery, and we actually touched on this a little bit, DK, when we were getting ready for the sea duck hunt. Mm-hmm. We were getting dressed in the Wawa parking lot.
Right.
And I made some comment about how it's kind of cool that we're doing this right now because we're right at the end of rifle season.
Yeah.
And through all of archery and in rifle, I have a system for, getting dressed in weird places like a Wawa parking lot in the dark. And, I just made that offhanded comment about how, watch, when I unzip my bag, boom, right on the top was the flashlight. Like that's the first thing.
Yeah.
I didn't need it in the Wawa parking lot because I don't know if that's a bad part of town, but it was pretty well lit. But it's little things like that. Like I don't even have to think about it anymore. I could actually, my archery bag is hanging in the little back room back here.
Yeah.
You guys could go back there, reach into a particular pocket and tell me which side of the bag it's on, and I'll tell you what's there because
Really?
I have a system. I know where everything is.
Here,
I want that with my fishing stuff.
Here, I've been having a problem. Maybe you guys can help. For fishing license, okay? I fish 3 different states now that I annually I buy a license for. And then if we're going to, say, New York, we're buying a 3-day pass, whatnot. My Pennsylvania license is perfectly easy. It goes in my wallet, and that's where it stays for the year. Legal...
No.
No, it should be displayed. I understand that, but I've never been harassed by a warden about displaying it.
But it's never not on you.
Right, it's never on me. Out of state, Maryland and Delaware, they pretty much print out a full 8.5 by 11 piece of paper from the printer at the store. It's not the special... whatever you want to call Pennsylvania license system paper is.
Yeah.
So it's a little bulky, and I'm not sure how to keep those organized.
I always fish. So when I have get a Maryland fishing license every year for saltwater, and I have a separate bag for saltwater, so I just keep it in that bag. I know if I'm going to Maryland, I'm going saltwater fishing, and at the top of my saltwater bag, it has a plastic pouch for your license, and so I know it's always there. In Pennsylvania, I wear it. I love wearing my. It's funny because
you wear yours all the time.
Yeah, and that's more of a. I don't know. It's a goofy thing. My wife gets on me about wearing my. Yeah, it's a statement. My wife gets on me about wearing my fishing license into restaurants and things like that. And you just. Yeah, it's a statement. That's one way to put it.
For my Pennsylvania license, I ended up wearing it on the hat like that, but it was a separate hat that it became my fishing hat.
Yeah.
Right.
It hung on those bags, and like I said, I've got all these different bags for these different scenarios, but they're all in the back of my truck.
Yeah.
Every one of them. So that hat was always with the bags in the back of the truck. So always had it on hand. But for you, Deaky, did you ever, I mean, I'm sure you have, you've seen these little, they're very similar to like a Plano tackle box.
But it's waterproof.
But it's waterproof.
Yes.
But they make some really
smaller one,
now.
like almost the size of your cell phone.
So it's like a document bag or a document box.
Yeah. That won't be a bad idea.
Something like that. And a lot of them, I was trying to look to see if
have
I
like
had
a
one
carabiner clip.
There's a little clip. Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's a
then
good idea.
You can move it from one tackle bag to another.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because I have to keep a boat registration too.
That's where I've started seeing these is I got this for Hunter's Boat.
Okay.
That's where we keep the registration, the stuff for the trailer.
Yeah.
All the documents that I'm supposed to have on the boat.
Right.
I keep it in that because then it's waterproof too.
Right.
Yeah, and
Very good.
In Pennsylvania, your fishing license, you can get a pin. Each year is a different color pin that you can wear on your hat, and you're legal then if you have that pin. And a game commissioner stops you, then you have to show them your license. You have to have your license on you. I believe you have to double check the regs, but that pin qualifies as having it displayed. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's funny is, and I do display it for the first weekend of trout.
Yeah.
For opening.
And
that's the only time you really see it. You don't see a large majority of the population in Pennsylvania with them displayed while bass fishing, while out on the boat, on a lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
funny.
true.
I don't know if it's a culture thing of like the trout fishermen or
it's the vest.
It's always on the
trout
vest.
fishing vest.
Yeah, there's a spot for it.
Yeah.
And the bass guys are just
I've been made fun of in Maryland by Maryland people for wearing for having a Pennsylvania license displayed.
I probably would have made fun of you too.
Yeah, in fact, when I first started fishing in Maryland, I just put it on my hat, and I had guys saying, "Oh, you're from Pennsylvania, aren't you?" Like, yeah, how'd you guess? Well, you got your. We don't need to do that down here. So,
I actually I forgot. I was fishing down with my in-laws, and I left the printout of the license on their kitchen table.
Yeah.
And I'm a half an hour away at the Chop Tank Pier.
Yeah.
And
I got checked dozens of times.
You always get checked at that pier. They want to look in your cooler. They want to look in your bag. They want to see the license. And there's normally like 2 or 3 wardens that come out when they check. So the nice individual was talking to me. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to text my wife because I saw you walking out this pier. I just bought the license this morning, and I printed them out. She's like, well, take a picture. Have your wife take a picture of it, send it to you, and then show it to me. I don't know if that's legal, if that was the officer being a very nice officer, or what. But that's another option maybe to print.
That's true.
To take pictures as a copy.
Well, they'll send you an electronic copy of it too. I don't know if that's enough or not.
Any of the out-of-state stuff I've done, the New York thing, Virginia, and Maryland fishing license, I've done it online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you always get the email confirmation, which has basically a copy of it.
Yeah.
So,
if you keep that to show them, as long as you don't have a dead cell phone on you, you should be good to go.
I'm surprised they can't, because it seems like they all carry those scanners or little computers or something.
Right.
I'm surprised they can't look it up by
off your driver's license number. Because the Maryland, like what they call the compass, which is the hub for all your license, you actually you enter your driver's license ID.
Yeah, that's
So-
right. That's right. Well, this is some hard-hitting compliance talk, isn't it? Wow.
And again, check your regs. Don't count on us
Don't
for
take
being
anything we say as being gospel.
Yes.
Please.
So big takeaway for me was just getting all the guns clean because we did.
Well, we had a wet firearm season for whitetail this year.
Yeah.
So-
Everything was wet.
So will you
Everything was.
will you clean it in between hunts, or will you just wait and clean it all at the end of the season? Will
Like
you?
firearms?
Yeah.
That pretty much waits till the end of the
Does
season.
Yeah. For me, for our firearm season, I waited. I mean, I hunted, I think, I was out and hunting 10 of the 12 days.
Yeah.
So, and I think my slug gun was out in the rain 2 of those days, So I waited till like it was over and then cleaned them real well too.
One exception of that would be like if I'm out in the pouring down rain,
Yeah.
which actually occurred this year, opening day. My son got his buck first thing in the morning, and then I hunted the rest of the afternoon. Well, his gun was soaking wet because we were out in the morning. When he put it away before he went to hang out in the house and play video games while I had to go sit back out in the rain, he put it in the gun case, which is just, it's a pretty like cheapy Plano hard plastic with the foam on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
He put it in the gun case and shut it.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about it till the next day or 2 days later. And I went, oh, his gun. And I popped it open, and it was already starting to, right at the end of the barrel, right at the scope rings.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Everything's starting to already. So I did clean his
That's crazy.
during the season, but that was just because it was already starting to show a little bit of rust.
Wow.
Now I kept mine out of its case overnight,
You got to let it dry.
and it dried pretty well and didn't do that rust.
Yeah.
But
What about like shotguns during waterfowl season? Would
that
you-
one I cleaned right away as
Okay.
soon as I could. Now mine, I don't know if I don't know what the deal is, but mine seems to, if you look at it funny, it starts to rust.
Really?
But that's just the bluing on it. I should get it Cerakoted.
It's like your fishing rods.
Yeah.
And you. Extra sensitive.
Yeah, exactly. But no, that's salt water. That just is. I mean,
Oh, that's
if
true.
you're waterfowl hunting like a normal freshwater lake,
Yeah.
not so much unless you get it
Drop it,
splashed
yeah.
while you're on your boat ride. Get it splashed. If there's water, there's numbers of reasons why you could get wet in the blind or wherever the gun is.
Mm-hmm.
Then you probably want to wipe it down. You don't have to necessarily like do a good barrel clean, as long as you can oil it. If it does get wet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Cool. Nice. It's been a busy week.
What have you been up to?
Very little outdoorsing stuff. Unfortunately, I have another project that that I'm working on, and my dad was doing some house cleaning and had an old '85 Chevy pickup that he needed to get
a
rid of.
sweet square body.
Yeah.
Just behind the couch or something?
Yeah.
House
Just laying around.
laying
There's that truck I
around.
put here.
This is another one of those things. My family is so nostalgic about stuff. This is another one of those things that's been in my family for, I'm not kidding, 30 years, 25, 30 years. I remember driving this truck. It was my
this supposed to
grandfather's.
be Will's by birthright too?
It probably should have been. It was our grandfather's, and then my dad ended up with it, and now it's at my house. But it's in rough shape. It hasn't been on the road in 9 or 10 years, something like that. But I'm looking forward to doing some work to that. So that's another one of my hobbies is car stuff.
Restorations.
We don't get to talk about that much on an outdoor podcast, but I'll do a better job of taking pictures of that. I'll do one or something like that.
That's a good side project.
Yeah,
That'll keep you busy.
Oh my goodness, I'm really, I have a tendency of going overboard with everything, when I do something. So I'm really trying to dial this back because, you whip open that catalog and it's like, yeah, I need one of them, one of them, one of them, one of them, one of them. Yeah, I can't do that. It's just not.
Are you going to have the kids out there turning wrenches with you?
When I was 13, my dad bought me, I don't know if bought. My dad got me. I had a '65 Volkswagen, and it was in terrible shape. But he kind of used it. I learned so much about.
Like a bug or a bus?
It was a bug. Yeah, 65 bug.
Yeah.
And
such a tall guy.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. But I learned a lot how to do things, mechanical things and car restoration and stuff on that. And ultimately, it was so bad, and the process of me learning to do things and making mistakes, we ended up scrapping that and getting another one that I ended up driving. But yeah, so to answer your question, yeah. So hopefully my boys. That was the intent of this, was to be able to get my boys kind of involved in something like that. So, we'll see. It'll be fun.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. That's it. It has been I'm itching to get back out on the water, and hopefully we got to get some ice here soon because I'm losing it. I got that cabin fever.
Getting the shakes already?
I'm getting the shakes.
We got a long winter to go yet.
Yeah.
It's been I think 3 weeks since I fished. I haven't caught a bass since like the second or third week in October. So yeah, it's starting to get rough. Thankfully, we've been able to do a little bit of hunting this year. Else, I don't know, I'd be in a.
We need to get you at 22, and you need to get out there in Squirrel Woods, because that's what I rekindled a little bit in myself last year.
Really?
After deer season was over, and so I'm actually looking forward to that again this year. I've got roughly a little over 2 weeks of flintlock season coming up, and I got my bags are all packed over there.
You're ready to roll?
Sitting there, I'm ready to roll. Probably only going to get out maybe 2 times. I got a bunch of tags to fill. My son was able to fill the freezer for me, but I've got a bunch of tags left.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get lucky, but maybe not. What I'm looking forward to, though, is getting out there after all that's done, and I'm like, okay, deer are done until October again.
Yeah.
Get out there and start chasing some of those bushy tails. It's going to be fun.
I was listening to an old podcast this past week where you were talking about flintlock hunting last year.
Yeah.
And I think if I remember correctly, there were some issues with it had started snowing while you were out and everything was getting wet.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh yeah, that was just after Christmas, because I remember actually having, that was the first thing I ever tried to GoPro.
Was it?
I had the GoPro on my head, and it was just,
so
2 foot of snow, and
What do
it's
you
coming
do?
down, a foot a minute. It seemed like, and I'm like, how's this gun is never going to go off. Luckily, a deer wasn't dumb enough to run in front of me, so I didn't have to worry about it. But I don't know. I've only ever had one opportunity with the flintlock, and the gun did not go off.
didn't it?
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, that's somewhat popular. I mean, I know several guys that I work with do it, but man, there's not anywhere near the numbers that bow hunt or rifle hunt. So there's got to be it seems to me like there's a special knack to that, or special skill that you need in order to
Patience, I think, is what it
Yeah.
is. There's a lot of stuff going on there. I don't put in enough time, in my opinion, focused in like late season scouting and figuring out where the deer are going to be, things like that. I just kind of like, similar to what happens in rifle season, where it's sort of all bets are off. I just kind of walk around in the woods. I'll sit down. I don't have stands that I hang just specifically for late season. There's a lot of tactics and things you can do specifically for late season. I don't really do any of that. And that's probably why I've only ever had one opportunity. I don't think I work nearly hard enough for late season. It's just one of those things where I feel like, I guess if it's going to happen, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I've done it, it's been more of I'm taking the flintlock for a walk.
Exactly.
You know,
it is really just a reason to get out.
yeah. I mean, I've never even had the opportunity to pull the trigger. You know, I've seen some deer when I've been out with flintlock, but never had. You know, it's always like, you know, they're busted.
Yeah.
75 yards in front of me. All I'm seeing is a white tail, and but it's just nice to get out. It's a different time of year for the woods.
Mm-hmm.
But not a lot of people.
No, it's usually pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Which is also why you don't see a lot.
Yeah. But if it warms up a little bit and you try to go out and you're at like state park land, a lot of hikers.
Oh.
Just a warning.
Well, I did. Did I talk about that at all last year? I don't know.
I don't think so.
There was, I'm pretty sure it was last year. It was like night and day difference the 2 times I got to go last year, because the first day was, 3 foot of snow.
Yeah.
And it's coming down. The next time that I got to go, we got one of those real weird warm spells.
Yeah.
And I remember actually being in the state forest and have 2 joggers come by.
Wow.
Like they were just trail running.
Wow.
And yeah, you just jarred that memory
Yeah.
in me.
There you
How
go.
about that?
There's your hunt, huh? Wow. Well, so we got Christmas in a couple days, right?
That we do.
Yeah. And there's one thing, and it's not necessarily on my Christmas list, but it's on my mental Christmas list that I need help with. The one thing that I'd like to get here very, very, very soon, and I would imagine that you guys could probably guess what it is.
A sea duck boat.
That's not what I'm thinking of, but you're getting close.
But you bring me one of those.
But you
I
bring me
won't
one of
turn it
those.
down.
If one of those show up in the driveway, I'll take it. What's your guess, bub?
Shotgun.
A shotgun. And you guys know that I am extremely frugal, and I don't want to go. Yeah, this is another one of those things where you can go crazy and you can get, 2 shotguns for every species you're going to hunt. But I obviously
That's what I recommend.
I obviously do not want to do that. So I'm looking for.
This is my White Wing 12 gauge, and I use this one for scooters.
I listened to last week's podcast when you said a
Schooners.
a schooner in one hand. Oh my goodness, that was funny. So I'm looking for a shotgun for small game, like pheasants or squirrels or rabbits or whatever. So a shotgun for small game, one for waterfowl, and something for turkey. And I'd like to be able to shoot all of those with one gun. And be successful.
What's your price range?
$0 to $100.
Okay.
But I'm willing to entertain. I would be willing to hear what's.
So
Does such a product exist? And
you could probably get a
Mossberg 835.
for $100.
No. No, I mean, we're going to blow his price range out a little bit.
Well, I was thinking of like some of the Ithaca feather lights you can get at auction for like $150.
Yeah.
And that's
Really?
a pump.
Used guns is going to be the way to go.
well, I'm not opposed to it. Something. I mean, obviously, I know it's going to be
Do you want
several hundreds of hundred.
Do you want a semi-auto or do you want a pump?
I don't know. I don't. Can we hunt turkeys with semi-automatics?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, that's all just changed here recently, right?
The thing that I would be, do you want to be able to have an additional barrel to also hunt deer with?
I'm not at this point. I'm not too much concerned about hunting deer.
Okay. Then I would. There's a brand. I'll name a brand. A Stoger M3500, which that shoots 3.5. It's actually, I'm pretty sure it's the Benelli, lower Benelli. Really? It's Benelli's like third tier of
Okay.
guns. Okay.
Entry level model.
Yeah, but it's a very nice gun for the money. They're about almost a half of what you're going to get for a 3.5-inch model of semi-automatic gun.
Really?
You are going to blow your price out of the water, but it's not going to be paying for a Benelli that shoots 3.5-inch.
Okay.
You can get by with a 3-inch gun.
I was shooting 3-inch shells last week.
Yes.
At CJ, and that didn't seem to beat. I mean, I could.
That's because of the semi-automatic. I forget if that's inertia or what type of mechanism that is.
Yeah.
But any semi-auto reduces recoil
Okay.
just because of the mechanism to eject and load the next
reload,
shell is all done by the gas
Gotcha.
from the shell, the first shell.
Okay.
Okay, so any of your semis are gonna have a little less recoil than a
that
pump
makes
or a
sense.
break action
It's
shotgun.
Reusing some of that energy to reload
the kinetic
shell.
force is going
Okay.
a little bit the other way than into your shoulder.
Well, thank you, kinetic force.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's actually
What's
Catfish. The gun you were using is a Stoeger
Yeah.
M3000, so that doesn't shoot the 3.5. And you can easily get away with 3-inch guns. It's not a problem. Goose and Turkey is where you kind of want to bump up to 3.5.
Okay.
For your extra little oomph.
And what's the price difference going to be for the semi-automatic that shoots 3.5 versus a pump? Ballparks.
What pump are we talking about? We're talking about like a Mossberg 500.
835.
I think.
Because the
I
500s,
wanna
500s aren't going to shoot 3.5, right?
No, they're not. I want to say the Stoeger M35. Don't hold me to this. Always check your local gun broker. I think they're like around 750 to 800.
Okay.
Okay, and I think your M35s are closer to 500.
Yeah. So I'm looking online now to Stoker.
Five's about the number I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is model 3500 semi-automatic Stoker, and it says it ranges from
So not quite
$599 to $750. Yeah.
Not quite
Yeah.
half.
But that's definitely half on
Okay.
when you're looking at most top line semis start at 1,400.
Yeah.
Like the Browning
Good
A5,
night.
the Benelli, all those are like $1,500 to $2,000 guns. And you're getting that Stoeger is way less on money, but with a lot of the same quality.
Just use a pump like me, Stevie. You'll be fine.
I still shoot a pump.
I'm not opposed to that at all.
The Browning pump that I have, it's the Browning BPS.
Yeah.
I've never met a shell that doesn't want to cycle.
Really.
You will find waterfowl loads that don't want to cycle in certain guns. I don't know why. It just, I had a buddy who had a Browning A5, beautiful gun. It only liked one brand of ammo. It wasn't even difference in loads. It was just one brand of ammo that it only liked.
Finicky.
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay. So it's doable.
You talked
Yeah.
him into it.
And that's
Yeah.
the same way that semi things for all semis across the board. The Benellis, the Berettas, they're all can be finicky on what ammo.
Okay.
So
But eventually you'll find one that'll work
yep,
somewhat reliably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reliably.
Again, to go back to your original question, a lot of those regs have just recently changed in Pennsylvania. Always check your local regs
Yeah.
if you're outside of PA. But small game, you said squirrel
Yeah.
stuff. That's all. You can do that with semi-automatic.
Okay.
There was a time 2 years ago. I
Yeah,
guess
that
you
is
said.
relatively recent, isn't it?
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Cool. That was easy.
yeah.
Wow. I feel so much better now.
You should just put it on your Christmas list, and Santa would have brought it, and you didn't have to worry about
Yeah,
any of
it's
that.
a little bit late now. Boy, he'd
So-
never go for that.
So Ryan, what's on your Christmas list?
You know what? I'm going to tell you exactly what I told my wife. Gift cards, because I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not a bad place to be, though.
No, and again, I'm going to go back to playing around with all the gear and cleaning up at the end of the season and going through stuff for hunting, and that's archery, rifle, flintlock. Other than if I wanted to get into waterfowl, which of course I want to, but I also at the same time don't. But unless I'm talking about that, I pretty much have what I need.
Yeah.
And this year, everything worked flawless.
That's great.
There you go.
Everything was great, except the deer didn't show up. But other than that, everything was great as far as equipment goes. So I don't have anything to replace. I think for me, I'm going to be spending a large portion of my budget on fishing stuff again.
Yeah.
This year, my hunting's been good. Up to some more fishing stuff.
This is the first year that I haven't had like a
big Christmas
gigantic list of fishing things. It surprised my wife, to be honest. So, yeah, gift cards are the way to go.
I don't know what I don't know yet.
The nice part about gift cards, for me anyways, most of what I want that I haven't already bought is more of a big ticket item.
Yeah.
That is over that maybe $100 threshold, or if you get a couple gift cards,
somebody tells you, hey, what could I get you? And be like, oh, how about this?
Yeah.
It's way too much for one person.
Right.
So gift cards will get you where you need.
Yeah. Gift cards, and then birthday comes around, you could pick up that Stoker that you wanted, that you're looking at.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Where would your gift cards be for, Ryan? Where would you?
Bass Pro.
Bass Pro. Yeah.
Which now work at Cabela's too, so
boom,
you're good to go.
It's a twofer, they call them.
that they do. Bub, what about you?
A new camera arm, a tree camera arm.
What's that?
It attaches to the tree with your tree stand, and it holds the video camera.
It attaches to the stand or the tree?
It attaches to the actual tree.
How does it do that?
Pretty much just like a lock-on tree stand does. Some form of fashion with a strap. And,
I thought you was going to say, how's the rainbow made?
So I currently have a really nice one.
Yeah.
But it's heavy.
Oh.
So, the addition. So I'm strapping the tree arm, a backpack, and a climbing tree stand all on my back to go in.
Is it one of those fluid arms?
Yeah.
That moves, and then as soon as you stop moving it,
Yep.
it stays where it's.
Yeah, there's a brand, the Fourth Arrow one. They were actually running a pretty good sale, and I told Santa that they were running a pretty good sale.
Nice.
That was back like Black Friday time, so hopefully that's coming.
Yeah.
Also, like looking ahead, if I do get some gift cards, I would really like a pair of trolling walleye rods.
Yeah.
So like a lighter weight rod with line counter reels, all set up for trolling.
You're into that, aren't you?
I call it that bug.
Yeah.
It's more of a I enjoy it, but I haven't figured it out, so it's making me mad. It's now something I need to conquer this. So
yes, we do. Boy, you do need to get those rods.
Yeah, I mean,
get them.
We were messing around with like an additional, like a, what do you want to call it? Like
Stevie's like, we need you to get those.
Yeah, I know. I was figuring out, I tried it. I was catching a white perch on that trolling harness.
Mm-hmm.
But I was figuring out, after reading and doing more research, and just, I want to be more efficient at it. You pretty much need a line counter to know how much line you have out. And that, in correlation to the speed you're going and the weight of your sinker, can determine the depth of where you're running while trolling.
One thing I found, and I take it back, I did ask for something fishing related, is a downrigger for my kayak.
Oh yeah,
that there's these smaller manually operated downriggers that will work with your kayak.
Really?
Because I want to try to do some trolling for trout.
Yeah.
And if I get back over to Racetown this year, I want to troll for
Oh, yeah.
stripers on my kayak too, but they make, small Scotty downriggers that, just clip right into a
Nice.
Scotty mount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool looking.
Yeah. So hopefully, I don't know if that was my issue always trolling, is how deep am I?
Right.
You just don't know. And
Yeah, now with that line counter reel, that can help you
yeah.
with the equation. Because if you look up, there's tables where you need to know your line, poundage of line,
Yeah.
because that's going to be the diameter, going to affect diameter of line. You need to know your speed. You need to know how much your lure weighs and how much line is out.
Yeah.
Kind of all determines the depth that you're targeting.
I don't trust math. I'd rather just have it down.
None of that wizardry.
Yeah. What's this
You
magic
and your
here?
magic numbers.
Yeah, but you're right though. That it has. I've been researching how to catch fish while trolling with a worm harness.
Yeah.
Because it's under my skin now. Like
Yeah. And the problem is you never know. It's one of those anytime you're trying to learn a new technique for fishing, you don't know if the fish are there. You don't know if you're using the right bait. You don't know if it's the right time of the day or if it's, the right moon phase or whatever. And then you throw in not knowing what depth your lure's running at or your bait's running at. It's just...
I think I did it. I went out purposely just to do that maybe 5 or 6 times this year.
Yeah.
And the only time I did not catch a fish was with you, Stevie.
Yeah. Shocker, huh?
But we did try a different part of the lake.
Yeah.
And previous times I would mark a fish on the electronics, and I would kind of, 5 out of half 50-50 time, I'd be like, I'm going to catch a fish in 3, 2, 1. The rod goes down.
Really?
Because I kind of could get pace of when I'm going to go over that ball of fish that I marked.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting close, but I just want to be more on my game. So
a funny thing, that time we didn't catch any fish. Earlier that week we had talked. I said, "There's stripers in Lake Marburg, right?" And Dave's like, "Yeah." It's like, all right, I'm going to be I'll bring some of my bay trolling stuff. And I have a big umbrella rig with 8-inch or 10-inch swim shads on it. And so I brought that along, and we're trolling along, and it gets hung up after half hour or something
it was
like that.
Early in the troll.
Yeah, it gets hung up, and Dave's like, they just stocked those stripers in here this year. Like, what? Or last year.
Yeah, they're fingerling stripers.
They just stocked those, and so they're probably not going to hit an 8-inch.
Fingerling.
I'd call it. I'd call it 2 this past summer while trolling the worm harness, and they were maybe 10 inches.
Yeah. So we quickly pulled the umbrella rig up and replaced that with
I don't think you gave it enough time.
and that might be my underlying psyche on why I want to figure out trolling better at that local lake, because there's going to be large stripers in there at some point.
And not too long from now.
Yeah.
I want you to perfect it, because the thing I'm going to work on, I'm going to get us some planer boards.
Yeah.
And I want to come up with the system.
Right.
We'll be out there on a little 16-foot John boat with 20 lines out.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's illegal in Pennsylvania.
Is it?
I think there's
I should check my regs.
I think there's a 3-rod limit.
But
per person?
if you bring...
So we have 4 people, it's 12 rods.
Yeah.
Yeah, bingo. You're there.
I can do the math on this.
You get all your kids in a boat. We got 8 more
all
rods.
your kids, you bring Lemon.
Yeah.
But my kids, shoot. We can fit them all with
the
your
pontoon boat.
We had
fit
60 rods on the pontoon boat.
See?
And all those half people don't weigh that much,
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to work on those planer boards for us.
We got to talk catfish into doing some trolling on Lake Mead, because I think we could, once you figure it out, that's the place to do it.
Yeah.
I think we could really nail it there.
The unknown depth and distance, random trolling while a boat's moving,
Right.
is how I caught that real big bass up there in New York.
Yeah.
Just happened to have that one of those bait balls
Yeah.
out there.
And we were kind of moving
It's what I was fishing with. And then we were moving, and I was just like, I'm just going to let this sit out there. And honestly, I think you're the one that called it, too.
Yeah.
You're like, he's hung up. Like, he's telling Catfish to shut it down.
Yeah.
Like, shut it off. He's hung up. And I'm like, no, that's a fish.
moving.
Wow.
I feel it shaking.
Wow. So maybe we should have Ryan take the lead on this.
Yeah.
trolling.
Be my guest.
So that's
I didn't have my line counter on, though.
Yeah. There's your problem.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy.
It's an easy Christmas list.
That's an easy Christmas list. So Deke wants some walleye trolling rods. Ryan wants gift cards, and I want to
getting
know
a
what kind of shotgun I should save up for. Perfect.
I'll spend your money any day of the week.
Oh,
Let's go shopping, bud.
There's no doubt in my mind that
I was sending you pictures of like rifles to get for deer hunting this
Yeah.
year, and
yeah, man, that's probably still a few years out, but
okay.
we'll see.
Yeah, I mean that's the great thing about a shotgun is you can, if you buy a 12 gauge,
Yeah.
you can go from your squirrels to your geese, your turkeys, all with the same gun. Just tailor your shot size. You know, you're gonna go 7s, 8s for squirrels, maybe even some 6s, and just move on up to BBs for your geese. So
Cool. So before we wrap this up, today is a very special day.
5 days before baby Jesus graces us with his presence.
Not only that,
Oh, okay.
one of our own R2 Pro staffers is having a birthday today.
Is that right?
That's right. Mr. Ryan Trash Panda Madera.
You know, I guess I gotta thank Mr. Greg Krebs.
Yeah.
That's caught on,
It has it.
and it's sticking.
It's good.
Yeah, I love it.
It's
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I've got the hip quiver right there that we're looking at, and the pictures that between Catfish and Neil Orange Peel across the pond there, they put out some pretty epic
Oh yeah.
pictures of it today.
They're always good for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, even random, just outdoor interactions. DK ran into a raccoon.
Yeah, in the
earlier.
backyard.
And, he sends a picture.
Like, get out of my backyard, man.
And immediately I'm like, you leave my family members alone. So it's good times. Good
Yeah.
times.
Well, happy birthday, bud.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for celebrating your birthday with Stevie and I.
Yeah.
I would have it no
Podcasting
other
in your
way.
basement.
Isn't that awesome?
Hey, how about that cake?
Oh, that was
Oh man.
Don't tell the other guys about that, though.
Oh, we
I'm gonna
won't.
need you to edit that out.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Please do.
I already sent him a picture of it, though.
Just don't tell them how good it was.
Oh, okay.
Now, it was good cake. Who made that?
My wife. Yeah. Wow. I'm sure, and the kids, and it was filled with peanut butter and love.
Oh, I tasted the peanut butter. That much for sure. That was good. That was
Definitely.
good.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right. Well, since it's your birthday, you get to end it tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. How can
Send
they
us
find
out,
us?
bud.
What do you want me to end it with?
I don't know.
Can
How
you
they
sing
can
us a
find
song?
us.
Surprise us.
No.
Sing a few bars of Mbop, please.
Bop, bop, bop. No, of course, you can always find us at RuttenRiverPursuitPodcast.com. I was waiting for that. I didn't hear it, then I thought I screwed it up. Let me try that again. Son of a... Stevie said we needed outtakes, so now we got outtakes.
got them.
Of course, you can always find us at rutandriverpursuits.com. The podcast itself, always available on Apple iTunes.
Available on Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcast. I hate that new thing. It doesn't roll
Doesn't
off
make
the-
sense.
No, it doesn't.
Steve Jobs would have never allowed that.
I'm going to start this from Jump Street. Ready?
Yeah.
As always, you can find us at ruttenriverpursuits.com. And check out... I didn't need that many outtakes. That was cool. As always, you can find us at rutandriverpursuits.com. Be sure to check us out on all the social media properties on Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitters. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel. Look for Rut and River Pursuit Podcast. And the podcast itself, always available on Spotify.
And Apple Podcasts.
I was waiting for an echo on Spotify. I didn't hear one.
Hey, Stevie.
Oh, it's just a little slow.
If you're hankering for a snack, what website should you go to?
Oh, I'm going to head on over to mfjerky.com.
Is there
Load
a
up the
promo
cart.
code?
Well, you got to load up the cart with bags and bags and bags of delicious beef jerky.
And coffee.
Coffee.
Sweet sticks.
Sweet sticks. He's got mugs over there. They got everything. Man, I'll tell you. Use coupon code RUTMUS30. RUTMUS30. And you better hurry because that's not going to last forever.
Nope.
That coupon code. Yeah. RUTMUS30 for 30% off the entire order.
And Ryan, if your hand is getting cold in late season archery on your bow, what are you going to do?
Well, what you need to do is head on over to betterthehunt.com, throw a couple of those bow mitts in your shopping cart.
Yeah.
And you're going to use the promo code
RUTRiver20
to get 20% off.
That is a deal.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
man,
Those bow mitts are amazing. They do a good job.
Keep your hand warm, nice and cozy. Throw a hot hand in there.
Nothing better.
It's like an oven.
And then you're always ready.
Yeah.
You won't get busted reaching for your bow. It's already in your hand.
I actually throw hot hands in there, and then I put my hot pockets.
Hot pockets.
Yeah.
Just
the ham
warm
and
them up.
cheese, all of them. And
Don't
it's
put
like,
the pizza ones
it's
in,
like
'cause
a
then
little
it oozes
oven.
out.
Oh, no, not the pizza ones.
Don't be hunting late season bear. That's considered baiting if you put hot pockets in there.
Boys, it's been another epic week.
It always is, isn't it?
Oh, wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Be safe.
Yeah.
We'll see ya.
See you, fellas.
Ring weedless.
Get 'em. Sorry about
That's
my,
warning one.
my dog's here. She heard we were going to be talking about some
Oh,
things.
she did.
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
She smells that.
Welcome,
jerky. That could be because I ordered a beer.
Oh, way to go, Ryan.
Yeah, blew it.
You blew it.